Okay, hello everyone and welcome. My name is Lisette and I'm the events coordinator here at Alertus Technologies and I will be your moderator for today. Our session today will run from 1 to 2 and will provide an in-depth discussion about Alertus's visual alerting portfolio presented by Peter Andrade, a sales engineer here at Alertus. This webinar is being recorded and will be shared with you after today's session. Peter, please take it away.
Sure thing. Thank you for the intro, Lisette. Yeah, just want to thank everybody for joining today. We'll be covering our different visual alerting solutions. Just getting right into it, we'll be covering a bit of agenda here. Just an overview, we'll be doing a nice little background and brief overview of Alertus, just in case you're not super familiar. But apart from that, we will be covering our different visuals alerting solutions we offer, which consist of our desktop notification, alert beacon, LED marquee, our different options and strobes, our alert display, and digital signage override. And at the end of the presentation, I'll be doing a brief Q&A. So if you have any questions throughout the presentation, just save them until then. But let's get started with our nice little overview on Alertus. So just a bit of background. In 2001, a tornado ripped through the University of Maryland campus, and there was unfortunately no warning. 2 students ended up being killed as a result, and the tornado caused dozens of other injuries and millions of dollars in damages. As a result, an idea was born to engineer a mass notification solution that can be implemented anywhere and activated quickly to help prevent another tragedy like that one. Alertus was founded in 2002 and has focused its efforts on developing superior life-saving notification solutions ever since. And Alertus also has a dedicated team of safety, security, and technology leaders who are committed to continuously raising the bar for mass notification. Our technology is state-of-the-art with interoperable software solutions that help tie legacy systems into our next-generation audible and visual notification hardware. So with our brief little overview there out of the way, let's jump right into our solutions. So first up, we have our Alertus desktop notification. Our Alertus desktop software is essentially, it's an enterprise software solution for overriding computer displays with our alert messages. And it's pretty simple. It's pretty much consists of 2 components: a server that's kind of running the show, the brains of the operation, if you will, and a client that's running on a computer that you would like to receive the actual notification on. So when an alert on the system actually goes live, the targeted computers are overridden with this kind of full screen override you see here on the slide. We do have an optional partial screen takeover that can happen, but either or will be accompanying with custom text notification and your organization's logo for source validation if needed. And you can see that on the top right of the visual there. Apart from that, though, recipients that receive the notification will also have the option to click an acknowledgement button that comes with the notification. That acknowledgement button simultaneously can give the user control back to whatever they were doing, prior to the alert going live, but also provide acknowledgement to any given safety officials who sent out the notification. So you can, in a way, get a verification that the individual that received that alert saw it and even acknowledged it when they press that green acknowledge button. Apart from that, though, desktop alerts that go unacknowledged will actually remain on the display until they are acknowledged or until the alert expires or is canceled. And just a couple of my favorite notable features of our desktop notification is that we do have the capability to do lock screen override. This essentially means that we can receive alerts on the login screen, eliminating the need for user interaction and just great for general broader notification reach. Our desktop notification is also cross-platform. It's supported on Windows systems, Mac systems, and even has a Chrome extension that can be installed on any supported devices. And apart from that, it's super customizable. that template you see in the visual, that white background, the red letters, the message in the middle, all of that is completely customizable. You can move around elements, and it even gets as in the weeds as we actually have a native HTML editor inside of our configuration software, or what we call the Alertus console. And I'll showcase a bit of that on our next slide here. So these are just the different modes the desktop notification can come in. So the first one is actually our full screen takeover, the one you saw on the slide previous. But the one right beside it is actually our kind of corner pop-up variant. And you can see a bit of different colors there, different image, and just a bit of a showcase onto how you can change the actual notification and its looks. The third one there at the bottom is actually going to be our kind of scrolling marquee type of option. And that just has text going across the top of the screen there. And it just plays the entire message as it will, like the other variants of the desktop notification. But moving on now from our desktop notification to our alert beacon. So the alert beacon is this nice little audible visual alerting device that is designed to attract your attention with a tone sounder, flashing strobes, and a large text display that will show a contextual message about any given emergency alert. It's meant to inform the occupants of any given organization or building and instruct them on how to respond accordingly. Alert beacons are usually mounted in high visibility areas such as lobbies, front offices, and prominent spaces. And typically we see them a lot by elevators, stairways, and so on and so forth. Apart from that, though, alert beacons are zonable to enable safety officials to notify specific areas, buildings, and corridors accordingly. And something worth mentioning about the beacon here is that it's actually very reliable in that alert beacons are traditionally a power over Ethernet device. So there's little latency there, but we also have the capability to actually have an alert beacon connect back to the Alertus system, or as I mentioned before, the brains of the operation, connect back to the system via a Wi-Fi connection. In this variation of the alert beacon, it is a battery-powered variant of the alert beacon when it communicates over Wi-Fi, though. Apart from that, we'll jump on over to our next solution here, our LED marquee. So the LED marquee is a cost-effective way to reach large public areas indoors and outdoors with emergency notifications or just general announcements. It works as a great extension of the alert beacon, utilizing the same power source and data the beacon receives, enabling the custom alert message that the beacon gets to be seen pretty much at a much further distance and on a much larger display. The marquee has a couple of different modes. As you can see there at the bottom of the visual, we have our hold mode, which kind of just is its idle, no action is happening mode. It just displays a time and date. And then we have our scroll left mode. This mode has much larger text appear on the marquee, and it, scrolls to the left so you can get your messages through. And then we have our roll up mode. If there is a reason you need text to appear very fast on the LED marquee, the roll up mode is the fastest method of our different modes here to get a message across. It just kind of scrolls up in a very fast manner. But apart from that, we have our scroll and hold mode as well, and it's kind of being showcased here on the visual. That's essentially, you can see the marquee is kind of segmented to like a top and bottom row. For the scroll and hold mode, the top row actually stays in place, and then the bottom will scroll accordingly. And in this case, the visual says alert, so it'll attract your attention like that, and then it'll have the corresponding message associated with that alert underneath scrolling. And we'll just keep moving along here. Next come our different strobe options, and these tie in really well with our alert beacon. And so the alert beacon can actually be connected to a wide array of different external devices to enhance and extend its capabilities to alert and inform individuals. So these different devices offer multicolored light options, and in some cases, clear sound to deliver various types of alerts from a single device. And visual signaling is zonable to allow safety officials to notify specific areas, buildings, and corridors accordingly. And just kind of going through our different strobe options here. At the very top, we have our horn strobe. We can see it has its ADA compliance, fit for indoor and outdoor use, and covers visual and audible notification with a built-in horn. So you can, in the event there's an alert or an emergency, that horn strobe would flash its kind of amber light at the top and then give off a kind of blaring horn from that output underneath. After that, we have our incandescent strobe, has various lighting patterns. It is UL and CUL listed and fit for indoor and outdoor use, and is quite durable. And so in my experience, I've seen that strobe get put in a lot of different facilities like manufacturing facilities, factories. And so that's kind of where we see a lot of that strobe. Apart from that, we are moving on to our stackable signaling lights. Again, we have our ADA compliance and various lighting patterns, as you can see there with the different color options on these stackable lights, fit for indoor and outdoor use, and supports audible and visual notification. And just moving on to our last one here, our clear lens alert strobe. It is unique in that it is ceiling mountable and has a nice minimal intrusion plug-in design. So it's very discreet and can really be thrown anywhere. But apart from that, we will be moving on to our next solution. So moving on to our alert display here. So the alert display is actually one of our newest solutions in visual alerting. It made its debut very recently at GSX this year, and it provides a 37-inch stretched widescreen display that can deliver impactful announcements in large indoor areas, and provides a variety of different ways to customize the display through something we call display skins. So that's pretty much the editing of that kind of black and orange portion you see there on the visual. But apart from that, the alert display is supported in landscape orientation and features user-friendly menu options such as a home UI on screen with various selections such as favorites, sources, settings. Almost think of it like a TV. But it also has a non-glare panel that can provide a really crisp and clear picture for any announcements and other alert notification content in nearly any lighting condition, allowing for messages to be easily seen and read by any critical stakeholders. And I will say, seeing it in person, it is very crisp, very clear display. It's some good eye candy. But now moving on to our digital signage override. So the digital signage override software pretty much turns your standard digital signages into intelligent emergency alerting appliances. Many organizations employ the use of digital signage displays to transmit communications or they use it to transmit communications in public and high occupancy areas. So our digital signage override is a software-based client that typically lives on the digital signage itself, ready to take over the signage in the event of an emergency. And it's a very similar parallel to our desktop notification. But when an alert is active on the system, the emergency alerts can scroll across the digital signage and can be easily read from a distance. And additionally, the application supports playback of alert tones and different voice messages on systems with audio output capabilities in case there's, I don't know, an accompanying tone or siren you'd like to be delivered alongside your customized alert message. But apart from that, our digital signage override also integrates seamlessly with different components of our Alertus system. So for example, an alert beacon, you could have an alert beacon in a hallway, catching various individuals' attention in like very busy areas, and then have your digital signage maybe in like the front lobby or something of that sort. Everything will go off in tandem together. So building a full out notification system. But some standout features here of our digital signage is that it's has a lot of personalization to it. Very similar rule to our desktop overrides. It is very customizable. That same kind of white background, red text, the logo, placement of different elements on the actual visual that the signages receive are fully customizable. Again, down to the weeds with HTML if you really want to get into that. But apart from that, another notable feature here is that the digital signage override has a lot of integration capability. So We have a lot of integration capabilities with different digital signage providers, pretty much being able to integrate through different methods, such as a simple client install on the system. Or if that doesn't work, we can go different routes like providing or watching an RSS or CAP feed. And even if it gets to that point, we could do something like an API integration or more. There's really a lot of different ways to integrate. And we, of course, take those kind of situations and vet them out accordingly. But apart from that, that's really all of our visual alerting solutions I wanted to cover today. So I'll just go ahead and open up the floor for our Q&A session if anybody has any questions.
Thank you, Peter. Yes, we'll dive into our Q&A portion of the session right now. If you have any questions, please submit them in the chat box. And we can start with the first question we have. Does the alert beacon have text-to-speech capabilities?
Sure. So the alert beacon actually does not have text-to-speech capability. Its audible capability is really just its tone sounders that it comes equipped with.
Awesome, thank you. Our next question is, how many different LED patterns does the alert beacon have?
Sure. So on the configuration side of things, the alert beacon actually has 8 different LED pattern options.
Awesome. And then our last question that we have for today is, does the LED marquee function on its own?
Sure, that's a great question. So the LED itself does not function standalone. It actually needs an alert beacon driving the device. So it is connected to the marquee via an RS-232 cable to kind of deliver the data the beacon receives and display the according information on the LED marquee.
Awesome. And that's all we have for time for today. But thank you again, Peter, and thanks everyone for joining us today. If you have any questions or need any additional information, please feel free to email us at events@alertus.com and we'll be happy to assist you. Thanks and have a great day, everyone.